Hey everybody, Josh and Ryan from the Mosaic Real Estate team back with another episode of Pieces of Western New York, where we interview cool people that are doing cool things that make Western New York such a cool place to be. Today it's a little gray, it's a little cold, it's spring in Buffalo, and we're actually at my house, which is the story. Yeah.
So we're here to talk to you about pets. We all have pets on the Mosaic Real Estate team. We know a lot of you guys have pets and obviously really care for them. But one of the biggest challenges we all face is the medical care that they need. And especially when you're talking multiple cats, dogs, whatever else it might be, and getting them to the vet for all of the services that they need. So we're here to talk to you about Fetch the Vet today. They are a mobile veterinary hospital and they come to you.
Let's go have a look. So now we are inside with Dr. Jenni Tudini, and Jenni, this is a lot more than a grooming studio. This is like this is really like a hospital. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. We the whole premise behind Fetch the Vet when we were putting this together was to bring the hospital to the home. That was what I wanted. I didn't want to be able to do exclusively routine care for the clients that really need to either have us come because their pet doesn't travel well, or they don't have the capabilities to be able to travel. They might be elderly, whatever that might be. You know, I wanted to be able to take x-rays, I wanted to be able to do blood work, surgery, everything that we do in a normal practice, but on a client's driveway or right inside their home.
It's amazing because I've got, what, 2 cats and 1 dog, but we had 2. And when you guys come, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is 4 pet visits, and I didn't have to leave my house
and
drag them all there. It's incredible.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients, and it really, when we were first thinking about what kind of clientele might find this service beneficial to them, we weren't even scratching the surface, from what we've actually found since the business has been in operation. And whether that's a young mom who's got a toddler and an infant and 3 crazy Labradors at home, that getting to the vet would be a nightmare, or they might have to split that over 3 separate visits so she can handle all of that, alongside the kids. Whether that's a busy individual that's just working from home, and sometimes that's the case. We turn up, hey, the dogs are over in the room, let me know when you're done.
Or your crazy dog.
It varies.
So what are the capabilities here? Looks like you've got a lot going on.
Yeah, so absolutely. It's like
Give me a tour.
We refer to it as our little mini hospital on wheels. That's what it's referred to. So we can do everything from general exams, routine visits, annual exams, vaccines, things like that. We have full digital X-ray, as you can see. We have full ultrasound, in-house lab machines. We obviously send out blood work to reference labs as well.
Okay.
But if we've got a patient that is more in need of critical assessment, we can do that right here, right at the home. We obviously have a full surgery suite, so we have full capabilities to do surgeries on site or at our building, and we have a fully stocked pharmacy, so we're able to dispense medications right then and there. So it really is everything neatly compact down into 26-foot long vehicle.
It doesn't feel small in here, though. It feels plenty large.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, so now we're with the vet, Dr. Jim Tudini. Jim, well, thanks for having us. This place is incredible.
Thanks for coming.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, welcome aboard. This is our operation. This is one of 2 actually that we have out servicing.
Oh, really?
Serving. Well, yeah, and we actually have a 3rd that's in production as we speak, and should hopefully be done soon. To add to the increasing demand in Western New York for people and their pets. Yeah.
So, can you deal with emergencies?
They can be. The nature of emergencies usually means that they need to be seen promptly. Mm-hmm. And we certainly try to accommodate that. The way we construct our schedule is to be able to have those seen if we need to. So we have certain block-offs on a particular day where we can, if we get a phone call and somebody's sick and needs to be seen that day, we can hopefully accommodate that. Yeah. But then there's others that are maybe not necessarily emergencies, but have a certain urgency associated with them, and then we usually try to schedule those in a timely fashion so that we can go see them.
how far do you go, right? This is,
So
we're in
based,
East Aurora today.
Yeah, so we're based in East Aurora. We service 40 miles from East Aurora, so our kind of northernmost border tends to be Sanborn, parts of Lockport, Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Eastern side is kind of 𝐸𝐵𝑆burg, Corfu, Darien, those areas, and then further south down to just north of Springville. Kind of Springville area is kind of our southern cutoff.
Pretty big range.
It
so
is.
like most of Erie and Niagara County.
It is. So we have currently we've got 2 vehicles on the road right now. We actually have the 3rd vehicle that's almost completed. But with scheduling, we always have 1 vehicle scheduled to be in the North Towns on a day, 1 vehicle scheduled to be in the South Towns each day, so that we're able to cover those areas, each day.
And who's on this? Is there an actual vet on here, a vet tech? Or?
Yep. So there's a team. There's a team that works on each unit. We have a doctor and a technician on each vehicle.
Okay.
Sometimes that might be a doctor and an assistant. On our smaller van, which we refer to as our technician van, that's a technician and an assistant that go out. And the technicians, they're going out and doing routine appointments again for might be blood draws, weight checks, administration of some medication. Blood pressures, things like that.
Incredible. So my wife has a horse, right? And we're always like, oh, the horse vet just comes to the horses. And it seems to be, I'm like, wait, you only paid that much for the horse, for the vet to come to the horse? And it seems so old fashioned. And now this seems like revolutionary, but it's really like much more convenient.
Yeah.
How does this idea come to be?
What I wanted to develop was an in-home practice that was more than just routine care, that was bringing the hospital to the home and was reaching the clients that really needed it, whether that's somebody that's elderly, whether that's somebody that doesn't travel, whether it's just somebody that's busy. For me, it was maintaining the accessibility, irrespective of socioeconomic, income or class.
Right.
I did not want this ever to be something that only,
Elitist.
elite,
Right.
could afford. That's a very core, important part to me, was that we maintain the accessibility.
Yeah.
And so the only difference with our practice is the house call fee. Everything else is going to fall in line with a standard brick and mortar practice, and it just works so well.
And you guys have a brick and mortar location.
We do, yes. So we own also East Aurora Veterinary Hospital. It actually works, we refer to them as sister practices. They work very nicely together. The only thing that we can't do with Fetch the Vet is to hospitalize patients. And so in taking on taking on East Aurora Vet Hospital, then that allowed us now that capability to do that, and that in itself is going to be going through some full renovation and expansion later this year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You said Yorkshire. I assume you don't sound like that's a Buffalo accent, so that's not Yorkshire,
Correct.
New York.
No, exactly, no. There's always the accent. And sometimes I get asked on the phone, oh, you're the voice. And I'm like, what do you mean the voice? And I guess I forget that my voice is on the voicemail for Fetch the Vet.
Oh.
And I for a while I didn't know what people kept asking me. Like, you're the voice. And so I'm English, obviously. I often get confused for being Australian. That seems to be sound similar. And went to vet school. Met Dr. Jim, who's my husband, and the rest is history, and moved over here in 2009, and we get asked often if we work together, if we've had work together. We worked together for pretty much 10 years and never caused a problem. We get asked that a lot. How on earth do you work with your spouse? It works. So I do the majority of my time with mobile practice. He does the majority of his time at our brick and mortar hospital, and we're often like passing ships in the night.
So you're from Buffalo, right? You've got a
Born and raised.
like a multi-generational, kind of famous family.
I don't know, famous, infamous.
It was your dad is
My dad is Jim Sr. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and he's
famous trombonist, yeah?
no saxophonist.
Saxophonist.
Baritone,
That's
baritone
right.
sax.
Okay. All right.
But he that's what he would get called for.
The
baritone.
Jim Tudini Big Band.
Jim Tudini Big Band, and he was played on the road for many years with Count Basie and other artists. And
No kidding. I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
He was on Basie. That's amazing.
oh yeah, quite the experienced musician for sure. So grew up with him, and then he taught music as well at Canisius High School, which is where I went to high school. And then my mom is a nurse practitioner, so she brought in the whole medical side of things, and that's the direction that I went, was the medical side of things.
That's smart. As a musician, I think I can relate. You made the right choice.
Yeah.
How did you choose veterinary when you were thinking about medical fields at all?
I just knew.
Yeah.
And that's most veterinarians I think that you talk to. We kind of know from a very early age, 4 or 5 years old, that's the kind of thing that you want to do when you be older. I mean, my parents will tell you, and anybody that knows me will say that he's been talking about doing that since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
Wow. And so it's a passion, obviously, and it's one of those things that if that's what you want to do and you're passionate about, then nothing's going to get in your way. And that's kind of the situation with myself and my wife. Jenny's the same way. She always knew from a little kid that's what she wanted to do.
And what do you think of Western New York? It's pretty great.
I like Western New York. I like there's a very, I think everyone in Western New York is very welcoming. There's a really close-knit community here.
Right.
Everybody seems to know everybody.
Yes.
And you can get everywhere in 20 minutes.
Yes, it's true.
So Western New York I really like, and East Shore I specifically like. So.
Yeah, so every episode of this that we've done, we have this similar conversation, and everybody's like, yeah, it's very familial. Like anywhere you go, there's a sense that we're in this together.
Yes.
And of course, 20 minutes to anywhere, which is pretty amazing. And yeah, it's funny that you pick up on that. That we're all here, and everybody knows each other.
I know. I arrived not knowing anything about the Bills. I am now as stressed with watching the Bills games as he is. Maybe not as outwardly. But I am a true Bills fan at this point in time.
Oh wow! Okay.
So he sold me on the Bills.
You're local, then,
absolutely,
for sure.
yeah. But no, it works well. I'm happy here.
So logistically, when somebody books an appointment and you arrive at their house, what are generally their thoughts or concerns or questions that they have?
Yeah, so when we first pull into a driveway, one of the most common questions that we get off the bat is we get a little bit of an anxious client maybe coming out, if they're a new client and they don't kind of know the routine, is how does this work? Like, am I meant to bring the cat out to you, or do you come in? And really, in answer to that, we do what the animal and the client are most comfortable with. We are in homes just as much as we are conducting exams on our units as well.
And you're primarily doing cats and dogs here.
Yeah, so the vast majority of our patients are cats and dogs. I do see all of the small pocket pets like hamsters, rabbits, guinea pigs, ferrets. So I will see those both in our mobile practice, but more so at our hospital. I'm a certified sonographer, so I will do all the ultrasonography within the practice, again, both with our mobile practice and then over at our hospital too. That's something that we were able to incorporate into the practice within the last couple of years to a much more advanced level, and so that has prevented us from needing to refer patients out to a specialty clinic for ultrasonography.
Sure.
It allows patients to be worked up sooner. We can maintain the client continuity, which is huge for us.
Yeah.
For us to build trust and for clients to have trust in what we're doing, continuity of care is really key for us. So being able to maintain those services within our practice and have our own doctors, of which there are 6, refer and get those kind of imaging work done. That might be pre-staging for Dr. Jim to do surgery. I might be pursuing an abdominal scan to look to see if disease has spread further internally before he then pursues surgery. It might be a medical case that's being worked up by another doctor, but being able to do something like that and advancing what we do within the practices, is always what we're trying to achieve.
Jim, like Josh keeps saying, this is such an impressive outfit, but looking around, I mean, everything's locked, it's strapped down. There's clearly challenges to operating a hospital on wheels. What do you find the limitations are from your perspective?
It's certainly been a learning curve, having really never done something like this, being the first in Western New York to do it. There was a lot that we had to figure out along the way. These things are so well built to help accommodate some of what you refer to as far as things moving around and stuff like that. I will say that one of the things that is an advantage is that if your pet does require something like that, this goes back to our brick and mortar facility.
There you go.
Because
when you did Nora's teeth, you picked her up, and I think you took her to the sister
We actually, in Nora's case, we actually go back to, for surgical procedures like that, which are scheduled and elective or routine, we go back to our main hub for these vehicles. And the reason that we do that is because we can plug in and be on a constant or a shore main, so to speak, as far as electrical supply.
Okay.
We're equipped with a generator, and we could do procedures on site, which we have done many times, like that Great Dane C-section I was talking about. We do things on site all the time, but it's just more of a peace of mind for me as the veterinarian and the one doing the procedure. I like to know that I have nothing that's going to cut out of me for a like a generator. But as far as the hospital is concerned, or the brick and mortar facility, that's a place that obviously is equipped for hospitalizing pets. We can have them in a kennel, we can have them on IV fluids, we've got staff that's continuously monitoring them and administering medications and stuff. So what happens is if that's the case, then this becomes an ambulance, so to speak. So this
you're still solving
so
the owner's problem of helping get them there and back.
Right, exactly. So this becomes a transport medium for getting your pet. They can receive medical care on here until they get to the place where then they can kind of take over from there, right? So as far as limitations, that's the biggest concern there.
How does the scheduling work, and how do we, if we need this service or this care, how do we do this?
Yeah, so for new clients can register online. They can call and speak with one of our staff members for us to get that information over the phone, and then we'll schedule appointments from there. You can request to schedule appointments online too, but all the scheduling is done through the phone with our staff, so that we can understand kind of time frame on how urgently something needs to be seen. And most of our new clients are registering 6 to 8 weeks out from when they're, or being seen 6 to 8 weeks out from when they're first registering.
Okay.
So that then we're not taking the current appointments from our current clients that we have and patients that we have.
Thank you for watching another episode of Pieces of Western New York. And to check Fetch the Vet, it's fetchthevetmobile.com. Thanks again.
See you soon. Cheers.